In today's Scandinavian Gambit video, we have two very strong players. As white, we have a Grandmaster. Grandmaster Ariane Gonzalez Perez. And for the black side, we have International Master Pedro Antonio Ginés Esteo. Okay, now this is a very strong game here that goes into the Scandinavian Gambit, but not in the way that you would probably expect. Okay, now this game was played pretty recently in the year of 2022. And the usual way, the way that I cover in my over 11-hour course on the Modern Scandi, and the Scandinavian Gambit is covered in that course, it's through the Scandinavian. I mean, it makes sense, right? You're playing the Scandinavian Gambit, you play the Scandinavian, white takes, you're now going into the Modern variation, and against C4, you play C6. This is the Scandinavian Gambit, this position right here. And this is the usual way to get there. And, you know, I say this again and again, white should not take this. If I'm white, I am not even getting close to taking that pawn. I'm throwing my knight out to c3, I'm playing knight f3, I'm playing pawn d4. I'm not taking that. If I take that, knight takes c6. If I'm white here, I have two holes. I have two squares. Guys, it's only move 4, and I already have two squares in the center of the board that my pawns can never attack for the rest of the game. This is bad news. Bad news for white. But there is another way to reach this gambit, and this is for you Caro-Kann defense players trying to find a response against the accelerated Panov attack. Now, for those of you that do play the Caro, I'm interested. Do you like seeing c4, or does this annoy you? I'm guessing it annoys a lot of Caro players. I don't know. I don't play the Caro all the time. I have definitely pretty intensely from time to time, but at the moment I'm not playing the Caro too much. But it does look annoying. I mean, at the very least, it looks annoying, right? And most players here go with d5, and if white ends up capturing with the e-pawn there, which is what we usually see, black often takes back with the c-pawn. What I'm going to encourage you with, if you are a Caro-Kann defense player, is to not take this pawn. Not right now. Maybe the next move, but right now, play the move knight f6. Now, if white doesn't take this, all right, you take on d5. Right? If you see knight c3, if you see d4, if you see knight f3, take the pawn, you're back into your usual Caro-Kann defense type game against the Panov, right? However, by playing knight f6, a good amount of your opponents are going to take on c6. And the moment they do that, you can either capture back with your knight or play e5. Both of these are a ton of fun. I cover them in depth in my over 11-hour course on the Modern Scandi. And if you're interested in a 30% off discount code, plug in the discount code CHESS25 on my Gumroad site. Go down in the description below, order the pinned comment to get that link, and then plug in the discount code CHESS25. If you do that by the end of April of 2025 this month, you'll get 30% off on that course or any other course or courses you decide to purchase on the platform. And this is just such a fun position for black. I mean, knight takes c6 performs very well. In online chess, e5 even wins by a bigger landslide for the black side. But knight takes c6 here seems to be the slight engine preference. And by doing that, I mean, again, you're just staking out d4. Not only is that a hole, you have complete control over it. 2 attackers, white has 0 defenders. And there's a lot of different things that white can try here. Really, what white needs to do is bishop e2 and d3. How many players find that? Hardly any at all. I don't think I've ever seen it when I've played this gambit, and I've been playing this gambit for nearly 20 years. Of course, I don't remember the games as a kid too well, but at least when I'm playing, guys, I'm playing, you know, 21, 22, 23, 2400 players. I'm not seeing this. I'm not seeing this from white. So, you know, what can white do? Well, if white throws the knight out to f3, e5, e4. Even if the pawn comes to d3, we're trying to break this position open and get this king uncastled. In the game here, we have knight e2. Kind of a weird move from white. Now, in a lot of ways, I kind of understand what white was thinking about, or at least I think I do. Knight e2 makes it so that we can't kick that knight around. The problem is that your knight's on e2. That's the problem here. Okay, we're not playing tricky, trappy chess. The Scandinavian Gambit, it's not like the Stafford Gambit, okay? It's not one of those gambits where you just try to get some quick tricks or traps, and if you don't get those, you're losing. No, this is giving you a positional advantage. This is giving you an attacking advantage for the rest of the game, and that's the purpose of it. And we're not going for some little cheap knight b4. Oh, I hope they don't see this, right? If we do that, oh, white's better now. d4 is played. This is no longer a hole. White's okay now. We're not playing knight e5. d4. White's okay now. Notice taking this would be disastrous. Atrocious move right there. We're losing our knight. We're just going to keep on with the plan. Play e5. Continue developing quickly. Bishop c5. Bishop f5. Continue putting pressure on the white side. Maybe queen b6 could be good, especially with the knight on e2. I mean, that pawn on f2 is not looking pretty for white, that is, at the moment. And white here plays d4. And that's not a good move according to the engine. At the same time, I understand why white did that. They just don't like the fact that we have so much pressure on it. They're trying to open this position up a little bit, make it so that, okay, this bishop can develop, right? This knight can at least eye up that square. The queen can also eye up that square now, not just the minor knight. But what do we see here? Well, the engine likes e takes d4. In the game, we have bishop b4 with check, capturing on d2, and then capturing on d4. Still better here. I mean, this is a great position for black. Now, this is an isolated queen's pawn or an IQP, but it is on our opponent's side of the board. It has two defenders. You only have one attacker right now, and it's a passed pawn. No pawn can stop this from pushing to the very end. Maybe a piece can, but no pawn can. And because of that, it's considered a passed pawn. Now, if knight f4, which is what we see in the game, castling kingside is the best move. Very logical idea there. Rook e8 is definitely something that we're going to be looking at. And against bishop e2, black here found a move. Very impressive move of d3. Now, in all honesty, guys, I don't think I would have found that. I don't think I would have found that. I mean, maybe I'd play bishop f5. That seems logical, looking to support that push. But d3 here was played, and it's a great move. Great move. If the knight takes, well, let's just go over it, right? If the knight takes, as we see in the game, knight d4 gives you an advantage. The engine moves actually bishop to f5 there. But what if white took with the bishop? What's the best way to go about this? Well, queen d4 is the engine move. You're attacking the hanging knight, and if the knight wants to run away, go ahead. But you're going to lose your bishop on d3. And white's in a little bit of a predicament here. What are you going to do? I mean, if you defend the knight with queen f3, because you don't want to lose your bishop, knight e5, let's attack your queen. If you want to go to e3, we can either capture on f4. I kind of like that move. It's pretty. We're up a piece for a pawn now. And taking on f4 is not a good idea because we're getting a piece and the queen. Now we have two pieces for a pawn. And the engine move's actually just going ham. I'm going to play knight takes e3. You want to take with the queen? All right, thanks for the knight. You want to capture with the knight? Okay, rook to e8. Your queen's pinned. So, I mean, a lot of ways for white to go wrong here. If we see g3, which is white's best try, still losing, we throw in a check. If king to f1, we have knight g4. We're threatening mate. We're looking at b2. This bishop is on the brink of falling off the board. If bishop e2 is played, all right, g5, let's kick that knight around. Where's that knight going to go? If you go to d3, we take it right off. We take it right off the board. If you go to g2, bishop g4, we're going after this bishop with a purpose. And if something like knight to e3, we're going to sacrifice the rook. Sacrifice the rook. Take back. Play a move here like rook to d8. Rook e8, there was an option. Knight d4, there was an option. The king got out of the way. Okay, new target. Knight on d2. Resignable for white. But all right, in the game here, we have knight takes d3. The engine move again was bishop to f5, but we instead see knight to d4. Still winning here. Castling kingside is something that I was looking at. Like, why doesn't white just get the king out of there? Well, the problem is that we take on e2, we play rook to e8. You got to move your queen. Unless, of course, you play knight to e5, but now we play knight to g4. Your knight is pinned. If your knight moves, we win your queen. If you defend the knight, let's say with f4, f6, you kick our knight. We're not taking this knight and losing our knight. Let's get our knight out of the way. Your knight is still pinned. You're still going to lose your knight. And if you go here with something like queen to f3, all right, let's kick the queen. You go over there. Okay, let's play bishop f5 now. Beautiful, beautiful play there. Right? We can't go to f5 right away because we just lose the bishop. But we play bishop to g4. If you want to prevent our bishop from coming to f5 now, okay, you got to go to f4 yourself. But, ooh, gosh, I mean, your knight just falls off the board. And if you go to g3, all right, we bring the bishop back. This knight, it would love to move. But if you move it, well, we just win the knight on d2. So in the game here, white here tries the move of knight to c1. We now have bishop to f5. Here, the engine likes bishop to c2 and then rook e8. But we see rook to e8. I'm being nitpicky here. I mean, black's playing a great game, and black's still winning this. So as long as you don't give up your winning advantage, you're good. That's how I approach it, at least when I'm playing games. But knight f3 is played, and now knight to c2. If the rook decided to move, which white didn't do, we have knight to e3. Notice that rook's hanging. So sure, you could take our queen, you could take our knight, but we now take your rook, and we're up 1 point in material here. White has an extra pawn, but we're up the exchange, and this pawn is hanging. How do you stop rook takes e3? Well, the only way to directly defend that pawn is to play king to f2, but now we throw in a fork. We take on e3. Lovely position for us. And if knight b3, which is what white did, we can take on a1. And here white tries knight b d4. I mean, really, no matter what white does there, they're just dead lost. But bishop e4 is played. b3 was played here. I was looking at queen takes a1, like, why didn't white do that? Well, we take on f3. If the bishop takes, thanks for the knight. If the knight takes, thanks for the bishop. If you take back with either of those, you lose a minor piece. If you take back with the pawn, thanks for the knight. I mean, this is just disastrous for white. And if b3, which is what we saw in the game, get something for that knight, right? Your knight's trapped. Get something for it. Get something for it. Get something for that knight. Here we have the move of queen to b6. We're up material. We have great development. Queen b2 is played. We have trading down. When you're up material, want to trade down as much as possible. Knight to e4 is played. Knight to d2. Love this move. Maybe my favorite move of the game here. Just offering more trades, really. I mean, you're looking at the rook, you're looking at the knight, you're looking at this pawn on b3 twice. And if white decides to take, oh, rook takes e2, we're going after that knight like crazy. And that knight's pinned to the queen. So we're good with that. Yeah, I mean, with knight d2, c5 is played here. And white ends up seeing the move rook takes e2 from black. Now, if white did decide to take the queen, we have knight takes f3, thanks to the queen. We're up a rook. We're up an entire rook. And if you take on d2, which is what we saw, queen to f6 was played here. And after c6, we capture, we take the queen, we take back. We're up a rook, and we're up a pawn. And yeah, white resigns the game here. Hope you enjoyed this one. And just remember, right, if you play the Caro-Kann and you see the accelerated pan-off, and you see white take, I don't recommend taking here. Play knight to f6. See if they're going to take on c6. They shouldn't. But according to the stats, the large majority of online players go, okay, I'll take the pawn. And what they don't realize is that we have either e5 staking out d4 or knight takes c6 staking out d4 with very quick and rapid development that white just doesn't have. And yeah, I mean, this is an astounding gambit for us. Let's say we see knight c3, for example. We can play e5. Let's say we see bishop to e2. Right? You're playing very quietly here as white. Well, we play bishop to f5. You can't throw your knight out without running into e4. You can't do that. If you play d3, we pin the knight. Let's say you try to, help out a little bit. Well, I mean, we could take on d3, but we could also just go with castle and kingside here. Continue putting pressure on that pawn. If you try to defend it really well, knight d4, crushing move, e4, crushing move, right? The whole idea being that at the end of all this, we're just going to take it and go, yeah, take our bishop. We don't care. Queen takes d2. The possibilities in this are just incredible for black. And again, I have my course covering the Scandi Gambit. If you're interested in that over 11-hour course on the modern Scandinavian, plug in the discount code CHESS25 and you will receive 30% off. Only good till the end of the month. And I will see y'all in the next video. Have a good day. Peace. To finish out, I wanted to give a big shout out to my Patreon community, specifically Walter, Rob, Steve, Rob, Ray, and Roger, and the rest of my Patreon community. Thank you guys for your support. If you haven't checked out the Patreon already, there are some exclusive benefits that you gain by becoming a member. I look forward to seeing you over there, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.